Hi everyone, welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we're going to be making this super easy ribbed beanie. For this project, I'm going to be using size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn. And I'm also going to be using a size F or 5 crochet hook. And we're going to begin this project with a magic circle and we're going to place 12 double crochets inside of it. And if you're unfamiliar with any of the stitches used in this pattern, then please check the links in the description because I will have my stitch tutorials listed down there for you. And once you have your 12 double crochets inside your magic circle, then what we're going to do is we're going to place 2 front post stitches around each stitch in our row. And we're going to do this following a continuous loop pattern, which means we won't be starting and stopping each individual row, but instead it's going to act like more of a spiral. So basically what we're going to be doing is placing a double crochet around this post. So go ahead and yarn over, and then you're going to insert your crochet hook from the front around to the back and then back around to the front again, just like this. Then yarn over and pull through your post, yarn over and drop 2 loops, and then yarn over and drop the last 2 loops. And we're just going to repeat that again around that same exact post for another front post stitch. And that's going to be your pattern for the entire row, so you're just going to place 2 front post stitches around each stitch in your row. And you should have a total of 24 post stitches when you're done. And you might find it helpful to grab a scrap piece of yarn as a stitch marker to keep up with the first stitch in every row. And the pattern for this next row is basically going to be to place a double crochet as well as a front post stitch in our first stitch, and then we're just going to place a front post stitch in our second stitch. And we're going to repeat that pattern going all the way around our row, and when we get done we should have 36 stitches. And the pattern for the next row is basically going to be to place 2 double crochet stitches in each of our regular double crochet stitches, and then 2 front post stitches in our next front post stitches. So what we're trying to do is keep these front post stitches the same and then basically increase in between them. So go ahead and place 2 double crochets in your next stitch and then 1 front post stitch in your next 2 stitches after that. And repeat that pattern going all the way around your row, and when you get done you should have 48 stitches. And just make sure that you're not trying to place a front post stitch in your double crochet stitches here. And the pattern for the next row is going to be to place 1 double crochet in your first stitch, 2 double crochets in your second stitch, and then a front post stitch in your third and your fourth stitch. And you're just going to want to repeat that going all the way around your row, and when you get done you should have 60 stitches. And that was our last row of increasing, so from here all you're going to want to do is just place a double crochet in each of your previous rows double crochet stitches and a front post stitch in each of your previous rows front post stitches. And so that pattern is basically 1 double crochet in your first 3 stitches and then a front post stitch in your 4th and your 5th stitch here. And you're just going to want to repeat that going all the way around your row and for multiple rows to build the body of the beanie. I went ahead and placed 13 rows, placing 1 double crochet in each of my previous rows double crochet stitches and 1 front post stitch in each of my previous rows front post stitches. And so now from here, all I'm going to do is just switch to placing single crochets, and that's going to form the brim. So go ahead and place 1 single crochet in each stitch in your row, and we're going to repeat that for multiple rows. I went ahead and placed 7 rows of placing 1 single crochet in each stitch in my row. So from here, we're just going to finish off this beanie, and to do that, we're going to place 1 slip stitch in our next 10 or so stitches. And then once you have your 10 slip stitches in place, we're just going to cut and tie off our yarn. And then once you've tied off your yarn, I recommend weaving your tail for a few stitches in the direction that you were crocheting, and then you can either go back in the opposite direction or you can weave it up the inside of your beanie. And in the description, I will link to my DIY pom-pom maker. Please let me know in the comments below if you experienced any issues while you were making this, and I will do my best to help you out. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Lipstick on a Rig. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.